Hi everyone, if you've watched this channel for the last year, I have been saying that a financial crash is around the corner. I didn't know what was going to cause it. I had my eye on the $104 quadrillion derivatives market, but it seems that the thing that actually has started the next global recession and the stock market crash is a virus, the coronavirus, because you may have seen, but the stock market has fallen off a cliff. This is John Ehrlichman. I don't know who he is, so if he's not a nice person, sorry. In 52 days, roughly $17 trillion has been erased from the stock market, he says. In 2007 to 2008, it took 262 days for a similar amount to be wiped out. So stocks are losing value 5 times the rate they did during the financial crisis. The pound is falling. It was at 121. Euro now it's at 115, 116. Slipped against the dollar as well. And seemingly every single stock exchange is down. You can see there, that's a massive drop. We are going to be in the crap, everybody. This happened to, what do they say, calm the market? They say calm the markets, don't they? I touched on this yesterday in my stream. Just look at that. The Fed to inject 1.5 trillion in a bid to prevent, quote, unusual disruptions in the market. Now, I would suggest that injecting $1.5 trillion into a market is an unusual disruption, but that's just me. Just so you know, 1.5 trillion doesn't sound, well, it's too small a word, isn't it? 1.5 trillion. You don't really, people don't, how much is a trillion? Well, let me explain to you how much a trillion is, or 1.5 trillion to be exact. Do you know how many millions that is? Do you know how many millions? Take $1 million, a suitcase with $1 million. Do you know how many suitcases with $1 million in would be required to get $1.5 trillion? 1.5 million. 1.5 million suitcases with $1 million in them. That's what they put into the stock exchange. Like that. That just went boom. Press the button. Release that money. It's the equivalent. I mean, they're hoping that it's going to end up in the right hands, of course. They've just stuck that in there and hoping that, hey, you know, it'll end up in the right hands. The right hands, of course, being the people who will spend it in the economy. The people who will spend it in the economy are people. You could have given every man, woman and child in America around $4,500 for that. No vote, nothing. And by the way, that's not tax dollars. It's not tax dollars. Learn MMT, as people scream at you on Facebook. I seem to remember years ago. This is Stephanie Kelton, who knows a lot about MMT. For those of you who might be wondering, where did the Federal Reserve just get the 1.5 trillion they just committed to injecting? A blast from the past explanation of how it all works. This is how your economy works, people. I've got some news for you. Your taxes don't pay for shit.
Is that tax money that the Fed is spending?
It's not tax money. We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
They press a button. Let me do that again because it was a bit loud.
Is that tax money that the Fed is spending?
It's not tax money. We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
They just press a button. Create it. Poof! Out of thin air. Poof! It's not your taxes didn't go. No, it didn't go to taxes. No, they just went poof and created this money. Why? Because they've got a printing press. They can just go, ha, yeah, there you go. How long will it last though? That's the thing. 1.5 trillion is a lot of money. How long will it last? Well, here's how long it lasted. That's what it did. That there, that spike, is around $500 billion. I said 1.5 trillion in this trade treat. It's about 500 billion though. That spike. There was 1.5 trillion that went in over 24 hours, but it lasted 20 minutes. If it's 500 billion, that's $25 billion a minute that the stock market ate up. $1.5 trillion. No vote. No, no session of Congress, no session of the Senate, no debate. Nobody asking how are we going to pay for that. Nobody asked a goddamn thing. They just went, stock market's crashing. Press the button. 1.5 trillion. Poof, there it is. And then Politico writes an article saying, oh, well, Trump's speech has rescued the stock market. It's recovered today. You put a $1.5 trillion into it yesterday. Don't you think that's got something to do with it? Just so you know. Remember, 1.5 trillion, that's 1,500 billion dollars. 1,500 billion. 20 billion could end homelessness in the United States. 47 billion would give you free college for a year. How much for free broadband? Well, if free broadband is less than 33 billion, and I'm assuming it is, you could have given the people of the United States free college, free internet, and all the homelessness, you could have got them off the streets and still had $1.4 trillion left over. That's how much they put in the stock exchange. How are you going to pay for that? No, nobody asked. And by the way, you can see there, I didn't say money. I said debt. Because that's what it is. It's debt. We will have to pay it back. I say we, I mean, not us. You and I will be long gone past this earth. Now that 1.5 trillion, that will probably, they'll still be paying that off in the 25th century. If we stick on the course we're going. That's how ridiculous all of this is. Of course, this is going to be a bad time though. This is a recession. This is going to be a global recession. Jobs are going to be lost. Businesses are going to go under. Livelihoods are going to suffer. The poor and the middle class are going to suffer the worst, of course. What we can't let them do is keep bailing the bankers out, that's for sure. We've got to keep the pressure on. But this is going to be a tough time for us all, especially the lower and middle class. They're going to hit the hardest. So I'll say this to you. Brace yourselves, Brace yourselves. Because winter is coming. It's going to be a difficult few months, maybe even a difficult year for most of us. Because when I say winter is coming, when I say winter, what I mean is an epic global recession of the likes that you and I have never seen before.